We are staying at the Big Four Caravan Park in the suburb of Coburg, which is part of the city of Melbourne. Melbourne is the capital city of the state of Victoria and today has around 5.3 million inhabitants. The city spreads around the Port Phillip Bay, which has been occupied by the Wurundjeri Aboriginal tribe for the last 40,000 years. However, it wasn't until the late 1830s that the European colonists began settling the area, initially around the Yarra River, which flows into Port Phillip's Bay. And then in 1851, Queen Victoria declared Melbourne a city and the capital of the state. Shortly after, a gold rush began and the city grew so fast that by 1865 Melbourne was bigger than the city of Sydney. Anyway, in this video I'll show you some photos from Melbourne taken during our stay there. But before that, I'll tell you about my reason for staying a few days in Melbourne, apart from catching up with our travel partners and visiting some friends, before heading to the city of Geelong in our South Australia trip. That in itself is a totally separate story which I won't go into any further here. However, during that process I found 26 photos which were said to be from Iceland, and they were held by the State Library of Victoria. They were taken around the early 1880s. Now, as the State Library hadn't digitized the photos, I requested access to them, and during this trip I went to the library's special reading room and was given access to a box containing the 26 photos. I had to, of course, wear cotton gloves while handling them, as I proceeded to use my mobile phone to take pictures of them. I have since then discovered that some of them have never been seen before. The photos came from a photo album donated to the State Library back in the 1970s without any information about them. They are travelling photos of a group of people which took a steamship from Edinburgh in Scotland all the way to Reykjavik in Iceland. It's clear on the photos that the group had at least 2, if not 3, people with cameras, which would have been unusual at the time. The group travelled outside Reykjavik, visiting some areas of interest. I won't show you all of them here, just a sample to give you an idea. And after that, I'll throw up some photos from the city of Melbourne taken while we were there.